Hello, my name is Sally Pinto, and I'm the Program Director for the Yonkers NORC, Neighborhood Naturally Occurring Retirement Community. We serve seniors 60 plus in Northeast Yonkers. We are under the auspices of WJCS and the Yonkers Office for the Aging. We also have a resource specialist and a nurse on staff. We conduct virtual programming in partnership with the Yonkers Public Library on a daily basis. Enjoy the program.
Good morning, everyone. We're going to go ahead and get right into it with our warm-up. If you've been with me, you know we start with those chin tucks, so whether you're standing or seated, go ahead and elongate that spine. Think of that space in between your vertebrae, and we're just going to go ahead and very gently tuck our chin back. It's a small range of motion. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Good. Now we're going to turn our heads left, center, right, for 5 per side. Ready? Here we go. We're going to turn, center, other side, center, turn, 3, turn, 4, turn, 5, turn, 6, turn, 7, turn, 8, turn, 9, and turn, 10. Good. Just give me a couple shoulder rolls back here. All right, just kind of getting the upper body a little warmed up here. What we're going to do next is 10 4-count chain breakers. So I'm going to count 1, 2, 3 up to 10 on the 4th count. So I'm going to go 1, 2, 3, 1. Okay, so the 4th count is the first rep or the reps. You can do the seated or standing. I'll do the first 5 seated, and then I'll do the next 5 standing. Here we go. We're going to go ahead like we're pulling a rope apart. We're pulling something apart here. Keep squeezing those shoulder blades together and keeping those elbows up at shoulder height. Don't drop them too low unless your range of motion isn't there. Then that's okay. All right, here we go. Ready? And begin. 1, 2, 3, 1. So we open up on the 1. 1, 2, 3, 2. 1, 2, 3, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 5. I'm going to stand up for the next 5. 1, 2, 3, 6. 1, 2, 3, 7. 1, 2, 3, 8. 1, 2, 3, 9. And one more. 1, 2, 3, and 10. Good. Shake it out. Now next we're going to do our 4-count cherry pickers. Okay, and we're going to add an arm circle to it. We're going to do 6 of these. I just want to show you the standing variation because I will start seated. Your feet are wider than your shoulders, okay? And you go out, middle, in, around, okay? So with a count, it's 1, 2, 3, 1. Okay, I'm going to do 6 of those total. If you're seated, I'm on the edge of my chair, my feet are wide. Okay, here we go. Ready? And begin. 1, 2, 3, 1, 1, 2, 3, 2, 1, 2, 3, 3. Just stand up for the next 3. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 5. And 1, 2, 3, 6. Okay, good. Our next one here is, our last one is we're going to do hip circles, 10 each direction. Okay, so we're going to, if you're seated, you're in the seat, and if you're standing, that's it, kind of like you're doing the hula hoop, okay? All right, so here we go. We're going to do 10 each direction. So we're going to start with one side. We're going to go 1, 2, I love these, 3, 4, 5. I'm going to stand up for the next 5. Oops, 6. That's a weird transition. 7, 8, 9, and 10. Good. I'm going to just stay standing for the next 10, going in the opposite direction, so it's weird transitioning. Okay, here we go. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Wow, that's a great one. That's something you can even just do throughout the day if you're in the kitchen for a little bit or something, you're preparing something and you just go ahead and do 5 per side. And that just really helps loosen up your hips and that ball and socket joint in there. Okay, so today we're doing all supersets. I have 6 planned. I'm hoping to get through all of them. If not, we're going to do 5, but we can do all 6, okay? So they're going to be shorter in time. Okay, they're going to be 6-minute blocks. And there's only 2 exercises. That's what a superset is. You just go back and forth between the 2 for 3 sets. So our first one is a little more conditioning just to continue along with our warm-up. We're going to do our butt kicker and row. So here's our standing position, right? And seated, you're just on the edge of your seat, all right? And you give some room to tap those toes back, okay? Think of those rowboat rows, all right? The next one is our modified seal jack, okay? So seal jack, they come out to the sides. All right, yep, and standing is, our modified jack. So we're going to go ahead and do this for 45 seconds of work, 15 seconds of rest. First round I'll do modified, seated. This second 2 rounds I'll do standing. Okay, so butt kicker and row in 3, 2, and 1. We are on. So we're really going to be warming up that back, that upper and middle back. These are our posture muscles. We're also getting our hamstrings right now. But both of these exercises are going to hit that upper back, okay? So you might feel a little fatigued if you need to stop early or start a little later to give yourself some extra recovery time. That's quite all right. So we have 10 more seconds. We're going to shake those arms out. 3, 2, and 1. Okay, 15 seconds recovery. Shake them out because we're still going in that same, when you think about this, this is similar to this, right? Okay, so here we go. In 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, seal jacks. Should also feel a nice little stretch in the front of the shoulder. Honestly, I worked out yesterday. I'm already a little tired. Yep, and go ahead if you are a little advanced here. You can go ahead and add some regular jacks into the mix. All right, a little hopping is good for that bone density. All right. Woo, I'm feeling this, and it's set 1. You can always shake it out mid-set too. If you're like, oh, I'm just really fatigued and you need to go like this for a second and then get back to it, that's fine, okay? You're here, you're consistent. That's the important part, okay? That you show up and you stay consistent. Time, rest, relax, okay? Everything else falls in place when you start to become consistent with it, okay? Make those healthy habits. All right, back to the top again with our butt kicker and row, seated or standing. In 3, 2, and 1. Here we go. Row. This stretches the front of the quad, the front of the thigh, and it strengthens the back of it. Okay. And it's also good for the knees. Get those knees, as long as you don't have, meniscus problems or knee problems, it's good to move those joints through the range of motion to keep them healthy. Ten more seconds here, kicking the chair. I had to move my chair up some because with the time change, the sun is starting to come through this window here. And 1, okay, rest, shake it out. We got seal jacks next. Starting to feel my body temperature warm up here. Here we go, 3, 2, and 1, begin. So you can stay right here, seated or standing. Or if you're standing and you're a little advanced and you want to throw a couple regular ones in, go for it. A little bit of hopping and jumping is excellent to help strengthen the bones, that bone density. You know, as we age and as women, when we age a little bit, we lose some of that bone density and are more susceptible to osteoporosis. So as long as you're healthy and able, a little bit of hopping isn't a bad thing. Almost there. Woo. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Shake it out. Okay, I'm getting warm. I'm going to take my sweatshirt off. We've got one more set to go through. Okay, so back to those butt kicker and rows. For the final time, you can start a little late if you need to. Stop a little early. Ready? Begin. Good. Think of standing up nice and tall. We're strengthening those muscles. We're strengthening the heart by doing some cardiovascular work right here. Right? We want to keep that blood flow strong. Past halfway for this one. Ten seconds. 3, 2, and time. Okay, shake it out. We've got our seal jacks, and we're going to recover and go into our next superset. Okay. All right. Last round of seal jacks in 5, 3, 2, and 1. Here we go. All right, keep it right here. You got a couple regular in. Whatever works for you there. Halfway right now. And we're going to rest, get a drink. You can take a drink whenever you want, but we definitely have some good time to take a drink in between. Last 5, 2, and 1. Okay, guys, recover. So hopefully you felt that little challenge through that first block there with the heart rate a little bit. Okay, feel nice and warm now. All right, blood moving. All right, so next we are going to do our side step sumo squats and our curl to press, okay? So we're going to alternate between a lower body movement and an upper body movement. What that does is it helps transfer that blood flow up and down throughout the body, right? And it increases your calorie burn. So remember, your seated option here is side step, leg extension, okay? You're standing, side step together, okay? All right, that way we get that inner and outer thigh working there too. And then curled press looks the same, seated or standing, okay? So those knuckles are gonna stay facing out to the sides, all right? This is that more neutral grip I was talking about last week, where it's easier on the shoulders versus when our knuckles are back, okay? All right, this is a little bit easier. This position is a little easier on the shoulder than this, okay? So as far as going overhead, all right? So those are our 2 movements, all right? Weights are optional. We're gonna start, again, I'm starting seated for our first round. We've got our side step sumo squats. So let's get ready in 3, 2, and 1. Here we go. So side step, leg extension. That's our seated one. And I like to sit closer to the edge of the seat so that I have room for my legs to move around here. Okay, and I like to keep my foot flexed when I extend my leg, because that helps turn on the front of my leg, the top of my thigh there, the quadricep. Good. And these side steps here from the seated position are good for strengthening our glutes. Okay, and also it's good for that range of motion for our hips, right? Keep nice range of motion. Almost there, last 5 seconds. 2, and time. Okay, curl press is next, okay? So light pair of dumbbells or water bottles, or you can just go body weight here, okay? Mine are a little bit heavier today because this is my only workout today. I usually do something later in the day. I won't have time today. So here we go. Curl, press, bring it back. Press, bring it back. Okay, keep that core tight. All right, nice and tall through the spine. Good, we're getting that bicep curl and that press. Working biceps and shoulders in one swift exercise here. Almost there, we have 10 more seconds left. And we're back to the top. Last 5. And time, good. We are going back to our sumo squats, or that side step to leg extension, okay? In 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Here we go. I'm going to step to the side. Okay, remember, when you return up, you're really pushing your feet, your heels into the ground. Think of that as lifting you up. Okay, it's going to get your glutes involved. Okay. Really sinking those hips back. All right, so the hips go down first and then the knees follow. We don't want to sink through the knees first. Good. 5, 4, 3, 2, and time. All right, little recovery. Back into curl to press next. In 5. Here we go. 3, 2, and 1. Let's go. All right. If you're standing, not only are you standing nice and tall, you're squeezing your glutes. Okay, that's going to help give you the stability you need to press overhead. Okay, so core tight, glutes tight too. That'll help protect your lower back as well. Again, these can all be done without weight too. Take it through its range of motion. Okay. Healthy range of motion through the joint is really important for good quality of living, okay? And again, it's just all about showing up and being consistent, okay? I can't stress that enough. 3, 2, and 1. Good. All right, we have one more round to go through of those 2 exercises, and then we're going to move on, okay? So back to our side step sumo squat or our side step, leg extension, leg extension. In 3, 2, and 1. Here we go. Side step. Remember, you're pushing those heels into the floor to lift yourself up, okay? Pushing the feet in or down. So instead of thinking like, oh, I'm lifting my shoulders up to standing straight, you think of it from the ground up, right? Instead of from the head up. Five more seconds. 2, and time. Okay, all done with those. We have one more round of curl press, and then we break and move on. All right, let's get ready. In 5, 3, 2, and 1. Remember, if you're standing with me, keep those glutes engaged. Okay, squeeze the cheeks. It's important for your lower back and to give you good quality of movement through the upper body. Excellent. Looking good. Almost there. We got 5 seconds, then we rest. 2, and 1. Okay. Nice work. We break. You get a drink. I explain the next set. Trying to clear my discard. There we go. Okay. All right. So next we have our split squats or our seated leg press. They're both so good. I mean, I can't, sometimes I feel like I just love them both. Okay. So if you're doing the seated leg press, we're working on all one leg for the 45 and then all the other for 45. That's it. It's just the legs for these next 6 minutes. Okay. So you're on the edge of your chair, if you're seated, and you're going to lift up. You're going to press through the heel like you're pushing something away with the heel of the foot. Okay. Bring it back up. I think what I love about this too is not only do I feel this in my glute and my quad, but I feel my core working really well here too. Okay, so all one side and then the other. And remember, your standing option is just pretend I'm holding onto my chair right now. Okay, your standing option is your split squat, right? And remember that it's really essential that that heel stays glued to the floor. If your heel is popping up off the floor, I want you to try to make some adjustments to your feet. Okay, so that when you're going down and coming up, the heel is pressing down into the floor. And finally, I just want to give that reminder to have that space between the legs. Don't have yourself too close like this. That just, and then you're focused more on balance than the training the muscle. Okay, so make sure you have that space. Okay, enough talking. Here we go. Starting, I'm going to do the first round seated with that leg press. Okay, all right, 45 seconds goes on the clock. In 3, 2, and 1. Let's go. Here we go. Up. Press, bring it back. Pushing through that heel, like you're pushing something heavy away. All right, imagine you're like pushing a boulder or something away from you. By driving through that heel, that helps you get into the glute. Whew. I'm feeling the front of my leg right now the most. Less than 10 seconds. 5, 4, 3, 2, and time. Okay, shake that out. We've got the other side to even out. 10 seconds to start. Here we go. In 3, 2, and 1. So we're going to lift, press, bring it back. We're driving through the heel. Imagine that heavy force you're pushing away. Make the most out of the exercise. Stay present with your movement. Good, almost there. We've got 10 more seconds. And then we're back to the first leg. So it's a little more of a challenge just because we don't have another exercise to buffer it, okay? And rest, okay? So either stay there, it's such a good option, or join me for this split squat, okay? Whatever is your preference here, okay? You know your body, okay? So again, remember to have that space between the feet. Heel stays into the ground. Here we go. So we're gonna lower down and drive up, okay? So this front leg, you should feel the work when we're going down. The quad is really working. When we're driving up through the heel, our glute is really working. And you might, it's normal to feel some work on the back leg too. You might feel some, it's probably more of a stretch or just slight muscle activation, but you're really trying to focus on that front leg. Good. 10 more seconds here. You can always put your hands up against the wall too, if that works better for you than a chair, okay? 2 and 1. You guys telling me last week, I have one of my clients do that. I have her just put her toes right up to that edge of the corner where the wall and the floor meet, and then she holds onto the wall. And she does them beautifully. They look really nice in that way. 3, 2, 1, other side. Down, up. Good. Again, stay present. Remember that mind-muscle connection, that's going to help you stay in control of your body, you know, as we age and whatnot, so that your mind isn't working faster than your body. By doing this, by staying focused, that helps preserve that, okay? Good, we're almost on this leg. 5 more seconds. 2 and 1. Okay, shake it out. Go back to the other leg again, okay? You might feel your heart rate elevated here. That's normal. If you feel a little dizzy from it, then just give yourself a little extra rest, okay? All right, here we go. 3, 2, and 1. Back to that first leg. Last time you're doing this leg. Remember, we're more concerned about quality of repetition than we are how many we get, okay? We want to make sure we're training the muscle properly. You go through your range of motion. If you can't go down as low as me, I don't expect you to. It's okay if you're right here, okay? I've just been doing this for a long time. That's why I'm just used to doing it, is all. 5 more seconds. 3, 2, and 1. Okay, shake that out. Nice deep breath here. We have one more side. I'm feeling nice and warm right now. Okay, so it's okay to feel that higher heart rate and a little warm. Last set. Other side and begin. Here we go. Drive it up. Again, press that front heel into the floor. That's going to turn this on right here. All right. It's very common for us to have sleepy glutes because we sit a lot more. Okay, when we're sitting, that's stretching that muscle out, which makes it harder to activate, right? And that muscle is really important for our balance and stability. Okay, so we gotta wake them up. Good. We're almost done. We're gonna get a drink after this. 3, 2, and time. Excellent. Shake it out. We're all done with those. Okay. Moving right along. Whew. Okay. We're doing great on time here. We're going to do a combination move. We have our Rdl row, or Romanian deadlifting row. So that's our standing one, where our feet are hip width apart, hip width apart. We hinge down, so we think of our butt pushing back towards the wall, right? And I'm nice and flat, and my shoulders come forward. And like I almost want to look kind of like you could like rest a tray on my back. You don't want to be like this. A tray would fall off if I'm like this. Okay, so you got to push the hips back. Okay, look forward, keep that neck neutral. Row, stand up. Row, stand up. And when you stand up, I don't want you to think my shoulders are standing me up. I want you to think my butt and my hamstrings are standing me up. You're squeezing this and this is what's making your upper body come up, okay? That's what I want you to think about through these repetitions. If you're seated, same thing, okay? You're gonna row, seated, hinge up. I still want you to think about squeezing your butt, okay? As you come up, okay? So those are our 2 options for the first one. And then this is gonna look the same seated or standing. You can do this without weight or very lightweight. I wouldn't go super heavy here. We're gonna do our goalpost fly. I'm adding a press today, okay? Now, this goes, we were talking about this last week. Remember, those knuckles back, that's not good for everyone. If that's the case, I want you to stay right here. And I want you to strengthen the back of your shoulder, okay? Because it's a really tiny muscle in the back of your shoulder here. You're gonna stay right here. If your shoulders are healthy and don't bother you, add the overhead press, okay? So then we're getting back of shoulder and top of shoulder and the front of shoulder by coming in and out like this, okay? All right, so I'll say that all again when we get to it, okay? All right, so first we're starting with that Rdl row. So grab your weights, okay? I'm gonna do it from the seated position for the first round through. Let's get ready. Those feet are hip width apart. We're gonna hinge it back. And 3, 2, and 1. Here we go. So we're gonna lower. Again, you don't have weights, that's okay. Focus on the squeeze where I tell you to. and make that mind muscle connection. All right, you're making those joints work through their range of motion, and you're connecting your mind to your body, which is only going to help you as we age further, so that we stay in good control. Our mind, we don't want our mind to start working faster than our body's willing to go, right? Doing this helps to stay focused on what you're doing. 5 more seconds. 2 and 1. Good. Okay. Light weight or no weight here. Okay. Light or no weight here. You be the judge on what's good for you here. I'm not going to keep this on body weight for me. Okay. Here we go. Goalpost to overhead press. Don't do the overhead press if it hurts. Okay. Here we go. So squeeze up, back. Think of the tiny little muscle in the back of your shoulder. It's very small. Trying to think of what I can give reference to the size of it. Like maybe just a little bit bigger than a sample size of toothpaste. It's a smaller muscle, so you don't use heavy weight for tiny muscles. They can't handle that, right? And if the overhead pressing bothers you, you stay right, okay? Right here, if that overhead pressing bothers you. 3, 2, and 1. Excellent. Okay, back to the top. We're going back to our Rdl row. I'm going to change to standing now. Please remain seated if that's better. Okay, feet are hip width apart, so it's facing forward, core tight. 3, 2, 1. Push the hips back, row it up. Now use those glutes and hamstrings to bring you up straight. Okay, that's what's making you stand back up. Not just thinking about your shoulders lifting up towards the ceiling, okay? The butt, right? Good. Remember, it's always about quality and control over quantity and speed, okay? Almost there. Last 3, 2, and 1. Excellent. Okay. Back to our upper body combination move, or just keep it to your goalpost fly if that overhead pressing bothers you. Again, I'm going to keep this on body weight, or you can use 1, 2, 3 pound dumbbells if that feels okay for you. Okay. 2, 1. Here we go. So make that mind muscle connection. Think of that little tube of toothpaste that sits on the back of your shoulder. Okay. That's what you're working when you pull those elbows back like this. Boom. That's when you're hitting it. Okay. Boom. Right there. Boom. There it is. It does take a while sometimes to get that connection back, so don't be discouraged if you're like, I'm not feeling it where you're telling me to. Just keep on focusing on it. I promise you, it's a process. It doesn't happen overnight. It happens with consistency, okay? And time, okay? Shake it out. We've got one more round through. All right, Rdl row from your seated or standing position. Feet are hip width apart, all right? Core is engaged. Let's go ahead and begin. We're going to push those hips back. Nice neutral spine, row it up. Squeeze the glutes to stand it up. Again. This is us saying, wake up, glutes. We've sat enough. And the same is true, even if you're doing this from your seated position, you just focus on when you stand, coming back up, on squeezing your tush. Almost there. Last 5, 4, 3, 2, and time. Excellent. Okay, put those down if you're using weights. And now we're going to go through our last goalpost fly with press. Again, remove that press if that's just too irritating for the shoulder. Okay? 3, 2, 1. Here we go. Pull back, up. Nice and connected. Put hands halfway, and we're gonna break. Good, less than 10 seconds here. Last 5, 4, 3, 2, and time. Shake it out, get a drink. All right, moving right along. We are going into our sit to stand and with an optional bicep curl and a tricep kickback, okay? So our sit to stand with the optional curl, all right, is gonna be, it's kind of like you do it as you're sitting up, okay? Yeah, it's like as you're standing up, you're kind of bringing it up too. Yeah, exactly, okay? And you might be at the point now, if you've been with me for a while, where you want to kind of do this, okay? My feet, keep your feet a little wider. See this? I'm right outside my shoulders. That's going to help with stability, okay? All right, so I want to kind of show you from the side. You might be at the point where you're here. Okay, where you're barely touching it, you're not sitting down, right? You're just searching for, you just want to feel it, like, you know, that you get down that low, and then you come right back up. So you might be here. Okay, otherwise, and I did show you guys wrong the first time, didn't I? It's sometimes confusing for me. Otherwise, you can sit it all the way down, get your bearings, and then stand up, okay? Like that. So we do the curl while we're in the lower position. I told you differently. Okay, and then, yeah, seated position 1. What you can do is you can leg press, curl, curl. Okay, so you'll do a combination move if you're going to do it seated, okay? And then your next one is tricep kickbacks. So bend forward and kick back, okay? And that looks the same seated, all right? Okay, so next block of 45-15. Let's get started with our sit squat with that bicep curl. If you're feeling like you're on that advanced end, just don't even sit there. Don't sit there at all. Just feel it. Just feel it with your butt and then come right back up. Okay, move, push through your heels, all right? Okay, here we go. 3, 2, and 1. We are on. So I'm going to do the seated variation. So I'm going to leg press, curl, curl, okay? Leg press, curl, curl, leg press. And if for some reason you feel like the combination of the sit squat and the bicep curl ever gets confusing, just take the bicep curl out. Okay, we already did some bicep curls. We don't want to overcomplicate things if it's just like, if it's one of those days where the coordination's like, oh, it's not working, don't. Just focus on the sit squat, okay? 3, 2, and time. Good. So we're going to go into tricep kickbacks next, okay? So seated or standing, you're going to get into that hinged position. All right, and let's see, go this way, all right? And begin. Here we go. Kick back. Keep those elbows close to the rib cage. Extending those elbows to a lengthened position and feeling the back of the arms, right? You can always go to one arm at a time, like this, if you start to feel fatigued, but not completely done yet. You've got 5 seconds. And time. Okay. Going into our second set. Okay, I'm going to go to the standing variation. We're going to do the sit to stand with the bicep curl. Get ready. And 5, 4, 3, begin. Okay, so and up. So the dumbbells here, they almost like counterbalance you a little bit at the bottom. Totally optional though. Take it out if it feels too confusing. And don't forget, you're pushing those heels into the floor, and we're focused on quality over quantity and speed, okay? That the quantity just increases as you get stronger because your body's more adapted to doing it and understands the neurological pattern. 2 and time. Whew. Kickbacks are next, okay? Getting ready to bend it over here. 3, 2, 1. Tricep kickbacks. Trying to push those hips back. Trying to make sure that you have a neutral spine that is nice and straight. You don't want your upper back rounded. Okay, so that comes from pushing your hips back and having a slight bend in the knee. I'm really thinking of those muscles engaged as you're lengthening the arm straight. Ooh, feeling them. 10 more seconds here. 3, 2, and 1. Excellent, okay. Last time with our sit squat to curl. The curl's optional if it's the coordination's not working for you. Or you could do your alternating leg press to do bicep curls, okay? 3, 2, 1, here we go. Driving those heels into the floor as I stand up. Talk to your glutes. Last set of these. Whew, 10 more seconds. 3, 2, and 1. Okay, shake it out with 1 set of triceps, and then we're on to our final superset. We're gonna get all 6 of them in today. I'm excited. Deep breath. Tricep kickbacks are next. 2 and 1. Let's go. Pushing those hips back. I have a bend in the knees. I don't want my upper back rounded. Pulling my shoulders back. I'm looking at a neutral point at the floor in front of me. And I'm telling my triceps to contract when they're in that lengthened position in the arm. Break after this. Just 10 more seconds here. 2 and time. All right, relax, guys. Little break, water break here. Final set. I'm getting a nice little sweat going on right here. I feel a little sweat. Feels good. Feels like I'm working hard. All right. Our last one is all body weight. Okay, we're going to finish with a little bit of cardio again. And we're going to do modified jumping jacks, regular arms this time. Okay, you can add a couple regulars in there if you are able to. And then we're going to do, this was one of my favorites. We haven't done it in a while. We're going to do cross, cross, front kick, okay? So from standing, cross, cross, front kick, okay? So I just think it's fun, right? Okay, so let's go ahead and start with our modified jumping jacks, okay? So seated or standing, I'm going to do the first round seated as always. 45 seconds is going on the clock. Let's get ready and begin. that upper body and lower body moving at the same time here, which helps increase the heart rate. The more joints we have moving, the more muscles we have activated, the harder we are working. Ooh, my shoulders are feeling it, they're tired. Remember the difference between a little bit of muscle fatigue and acute pain, okay? You have to understand the difference, time, okay? If it's sharp and aggravating, that's when you know you need to stop or pull back, okay? If it's just like, oh man, I can't keep on doing this, but I want to, then that's where you try to push through, okay? All right, alt body punches to front kicks. Begin, cross, cross, kick, kick. Kick, kick. Move at your own pace. Good, 10 more seconds. 5, 2, and 1. Okay, round 2. All right, we're gonna go ahead and stand for this one. We're back to our modified jumping jacks. Okay, in 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Here we go. Stay right here. Add a few if you can, not necessary. Just depends on your fitness level and any kind of, you know, injury or limitations you might be working through, right? Good. 15 more seconds here. That's 5, 2, and 1. Okay. Cross body punch, front kick, front kick. Okay. Seated or standing. In 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Here we go. Cross, cross, kick, kick. Getting that nice rotation movement. Working our core with those front kicks and those rotational punches. Good. Almost there, 5 seconds. 2, and 1. Okay. Final round through, and we have made it, okay? So back to our modified jumping jacks, seated or standing. In 3, 2, and 1. Here we go. You can keep it right here the whole time, right? And if you're able to and want to, add a couple regular and light on your feet. Right? Balls of your feet, landing softly. Good, we just passed halfway. Ten more seconds. Excellent, amazing, good. 2, and 1, great work. Okay, last one, cross body punch to alt front kick. Let's finish strong, seated or standing. In 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Go ahead. Good. 15 more seconds. 10. 5, 2, and 1. All right, guys, that's a wrap. We are going to cool down and then be on with our day. All right, so seated or standing. Big inhale and exhale. Inhale, exhale. Let's start with our neck and trap here by gently pulling and pressing down. All right, you can find, like I said, sometimes for me, I feel a little more weight. I push my hand back, but that's not for everyone. Some people may find it right here is perfectly fine to feel that stretch, okay? And just breathe through it. Good, come back to center. Let's do the same thing, other side. Pressing down and pulling and breathing. Good. All right, we're gonna go ahead and hold on to the small of our back here, just like that. My palms are the small of my back. I'm gonna pull my shoulder blades together so I feel stretch through the front here, lifting my heart up towards the ceiling. And you can put your head wherever it's comfortable. If you wanna look up, that's fine. If that bugs your neck, just look forward. You should feel a nice big stretch right through the front of the shoulders. This is also an important one. This is one you can do. You can do a doorway stretch too. The same thing if you're in your door and you put your elbows up on the door and lean forward through it. This is great for posture correction too. If you feel that you've got a little bit of a rounded forward tilt, this helps. We're tight through the front here and weak through the back. So this will help stretch the front where we're tight, okay? Good, all right, let's release that. Let's get the underside here, the lat and the underside of the shoulder. So we're just gonna reach and kind of pull those fingertips up to where the wall and the ceiling meet. You should feel a nice big stretch all the way down, seated or standing with all these, okay guys? And a nice big deep breath. And then gently release, same thing other side. Good, all right, let's get the back of the shoulder now. We're coming across the body, okay? This one, I always feel on one side more than the other, and it's one of those ones where I always have to really think hard about it to feel it. And that may not be the case for you. You may feel it more. Maybe I'm just more mobile in that part of my body, I don't know. But I have to think about those muscle fibers stretching for me to get a little more out of that stretch, okay? So if you're like me, just pretend you can see the muscle fibers in the back of your shoulder blade there, just pulling and stretching, okay? Same thing other side. Yeah, see, I feel it more on this side for me. This shoulder is my area of contention. I have a little bit of shoulder issues. This whole side of my body, this is my right side. I don't know if it looks backwards on the camera or not. But everything from my foot all the way up to my shoulder, everything's a little off on that side. It's just me, you know? Okay. All right, and let's just finish up with a hamstring stretch here. Okay, so seated, you can just go ahead and lean on the back of your chair and try to lean forward and stretch, okay? Or you can do it from that standing, right? You can hold on to the side of the chair, okay, if you need to. And the same thing here, okay? So just feeling that back of the leg. All right, you can even tap your feet a couple times so we get that ankle and that calf going. Good. All right, and then bring it back up. We're gonna switch sides, or if you're seated, you're gonna switch sides, okay? Having that toe up, and then after you feel that stretch activated in the back of the hamstring there, you can go ahead and do a little tap, foot taps there, right? Excellent, bring it up. Let's just do 3 big inhales with our palms to heart to close out. Here we go, inhale up. Exhale, palms to heart. Again, inhale up. Exhale, palms to heart. And one more time, inhale up. And palms to heart. All right, guys, I hope you enjoyed today's class.
Hi, everyone. This is Z from Yonkers Public Library. Thanks so much to Sally Pinto and Alexis and Barbara from Newark. Thank you to our community partners, WJCS, the City of Yonkers Office for the Aging, Westchester County Legislator Ruth Walter, Friends of Crestwood Library, and Yonkers Public Library for making this phenomenal partnership. And we thank each and every one of you for being part of our wellness community. Be well, stay well.